Let's practice IELTS vocabulary together.
Acoustic,
Acoustic,
endurance,
endurance,
prestige,
prestige,
costly,
costly,
cognitive,
cognitive,
fascinate,
fascinate,
ingredient,
ingredient,
plague,
plague,
naive,
naive,
reassure,
reassure,
acoustic, endurance, prestige, costly, cognitive, fascinate, ingredient, plague, naive, reassure,
downpour,
ownership,
ownership,
sophisticated,
sophisticated,
aquatic,
aquatic,
staircase,
staircase,
analogy,
analogy,
townscape,
townscape,
tortoise,
tortoise,
demolish,
demolish,
moisten,
moisten,
down, ownership, sophisticated, aquatic, staircase, analogy, townscape, tortoise, demolish, moisten, obstacle,
obstacle,
prior,
prior,
evolve,
evolve,
primer,
primer,
continental,
continental,
duke,
duke,
subtle,
subtle,
counsel,
counsel,
subliminal,
subliminal,
impurity,
impurity,
obstacle, prior, evolve, primer, continental, duke, subtle, counsel, subliminal, impurity, fabric,
fabric, oversee,
symbolize,
symbolize,
insufficient,
insufficient,
warlike,
warlike,
mold,
mold,
devise,
devise,
infamous,
infamous,
accountant,
accountant,
default,
default,
fabric, symbolize, insufficient, warlike, mold, devise, infamous, accountant, default, supplementary,
supplementary,
autobiography,
autobiography,
mouthful,
mouthful,
conscience,
conscience,
fitness,
fitness,
excessive,
excessive,
luminous,
luminous,
immortal,
immortal,
transmission,
transmission,
lever,
lever,
supplementary, autobiography, mouthful, conscience, fitness, excessive, luminous, immortal, transmission, lever, deepen,
deepen,
advisory,
advisory,
ape,
ape,
relevant,
relevant,
expand,
expand,
insight,
insight,
verbal,
verbal,
scope,
scope,
eliminate,
eliminate,
misty,
misty,
deepen, advisory, ape, relevant, expand, insight, verbal, scope, eliminate, misty, censure,
censure,
iceberg,
iceberg,
equation,
equation,
bribe,
bribe,
incentive,
incentive,
perspective,
perspective,
animate,
animate,
asset,
asset,
generate,
generate,
reckless,
reckless,
censure, iceberg, equation, bribe, incentive, perspective, animate, asset, generate, reckless, botany,
botany,
debris,
debris,
plead,
plead,
puff,
puff,
modification,
modification,
console,
console,
nobility,
nobility,
odor,
odor,
irritate,
irritate,
statistic,
statistic,
botany, debris, plead, puff, modification, console, nobility, odor, irritate, statistic, veto,
veto,
embed,
embed,
tentative,
tentative,
ultrasonic,
ultrasonic,
endeavor,
endeavor,
inland,
inland,
abrupt,
abrupt,
cue,
cue,
synonym,
synonym,
climatic,
climatic,
veto, embed, tentative, ultrasonic, endeavor, inland, abrupt, cue, synonym, climatic, nutrition,
nutrition,
sensitivity,
sensitivity,
unwise,
unwise,
infect,
infect,
complement,
complement,
objection,
objection,
explosive,
explosive,
archive,
archive,
implicit,
implicit,
celsius,
Celsius,
nutrition, sensitivity, unwise, infect, complement, objection, explosive, archive, implicit, celsius, imaginable,
imaginable,
coincidence,
coincident,
overtime,
overtime,
hardship,
hardship,
continuation,
continuation,
humanitarian,
humanitarian,
faculty,
faculty,
incident,
incident,
reclaim,
reclaim,
regime,
regime,
imaginable, coincidence, overtime, hardship, continuation, humanitarian, faculty, incident, reclaim, regime, exceptional,
exceptional,
gigantic,
gigantic,
discomfort,
discomfort,
reproduction,
reproduction,
hypothesis,
hypothesis,
diameter,
diameter,
stray,
stray,
credence,
credence,
neural,
neural,
alley,
alley,
exceptional, gigantic, discomfort, reproduction, hypothesis, diameter, stray, credence, neural, alley, accumulate,
accumulate,
microscope,
microscopic,
maxim,
maxim,
unemployed,
unemployed,
amidst,
amidst,
accommodate,
accommodate,
accusation,
accusation,
affirmative,
affirmative,
refinement,
refinement,
enhance,
enhance,
accumulate, microscope, maxim, unemployed, amidst, accommodate, accusation, affirmative, refinement, enhance, descendant,
descendant,
unfavorable,
unfavorable,
fatality,
fatality,
skyscraper, initiate,
initiate,
uncompromising,
uncompromising,
inseparable,
inseparable,
liable,
liable,
subsequently,
subsequently,
parasite,
parasite,
descendant, unfavorable, fatality, skyscraper, initiate, uncompromising, inseparable, liable, subsequently, parasite, trivial,
trivial,
syllable,
syllable,
hieroglyph,
hieroglyph,
avert,
avert,
equivalent,
equivalent,
inefficient,
inefficient,
utmost,
utmost,
participant,
participant,
tyranny,
tyranny,
transaction,
transaction,
trivial, syllable, hieroglyph, avert, equivalent, inefficient, utmost, participant, tyranny, transaction, Antarctic,
Antarctic,
overthrow,
overthrow,
nicotine,
nicotine,
solar,
solar,
intimate,
intimate,
condemn,
condemn,
D's, sway,
sway,
patent,
patent,
truthful,
truthful,
Antarctic, overthrow, nicotine, solar, intimate, condemn, D's, sway, patent, truthful, acknowledge,
acknowledge,
cosmic,
cosmic,
reconstruct,
reconstruct,
turnover,
turnover,
cluster,
cluster,
hum,
hum,
outbreak,
outbreak,
aureus,
orient,
successive,
successive,
theft,
theft,
acknowledge, cosmic, reconstruct, turnover, cluster, hum, outbreak, aureus, successive, theft, supplement,
supplement,
compliant,
compliance,
infrastructure,
infrastructure,
credible,
credible,
crude,
crude,
institutionalize,
institutionalize,
conception,
conception,
swap,
swap,
advertiser,
advertise,
excellence,
excellence,
supplement, compliant, infrastructure, credible, crude, institutionalize, conception, swap, advertiser, excellence, stall,
stall,
instinctual,
instinctual,
impatient,
impatient,
cue,
cue,
rebuild,
rebuild,
repetitive,
repetitive,
multitude,
multitude,
precaution,
precaution,
craftsman,
craftsman,
dishonest,
dishonest,
stall, instinctual, impatient, cue, rebuild, repetitive, multitude, precaution, craftsman, dishonest, convict,
convict,
nonetheless,
nonetheless,
worthwhile,
worthwhile,
predator,
predator,
inductive,
inductive,
haunt,
haunt,
expertise,
expertise,
magnetic,
magnetic,
electron,
electron,
commodity,
commodity,
convict, nonetheless, worthwhile, predator, inductive, haunt, expertise, magnetic, electron, commodity, inefficiency,
inefficiency,
revolve,
revolve,
contaminate,
contaminate,
nectar,
nectar,
carve,
carve,
forsake,
forsake,
burial,
burial,
revolutionize,
revolutionize,
dump,
dump,
mole,
maul,
inefficiency, revolve, contaminate, nectar, carve, forsake, burial, revolutionize, dump, mole, incomprehensible,
incomprehensible,
inaccurate,
inaccurate,
naval,
naval,
comparable,
comparable,
lichen,
lichen,
backing,
backing,
beneficial,
beneficial,
vendor,
vendor,
commence,
commence,
utility,
utility,
incomprehensible, inaccurate, naval, comparable, lichen, backing, beneficial, vendor, commence, utility, initiative,
initiative,
immature,
image,
interchangeable,
interchangeable,
frustrate,
frustrate,
scrape,
scrape,
malicious,
malicious,
holiday making,
holiday making,
heredity,
heredity,
tops,
tops,
bias,
bias,
initiative, immature, interchangeable, frustrate, scrape, malicious, holiday making, heredity, tops, bias, Domination.
Domination.
For me.
Formality.
Reckon.
Reckon.
Glimpse.
Glimpse.
Physicist.
Physicist.
Cargo.
Cargo.
Lorry.
Lorry.
Daydream.
Daydream.
Boredom.
Boredom.
Commonwealth.
Commonwealth.
Domination. For me. Reckon. Glimpse. Physicist. Cargo. Lorry. Daydream. Boredom. Commonwealth. Souvenir.
Souvenir.
Boost.
Boost.
Narrative.
Narrative.
Stag beetle.
Stag beetle.
Orthodox.
Orthodox.
Controversy.
Controversy.
Antarctica.
Antarctic.
Therapy.
Therapy.
Dampen.
Dampen.
Peril.
Peril.
Souvenir. Boost. Narrative. Stag beetle. Orthodox. Controversy. Antarctica. Therapy. Dampen. Peril. Mutate.
Mutate.
Prey.
Prey.
Activate.
Activate.
Exclamation.
Exclamation.
Gravity.
Gravity.
Suppression.
Suppression.
Savage.
Savage.
Streamline.
Streamline.
Seaweed.
Seaweed.
Grove.
Grove.
Mutate. Prey. Activate. Exclamation. Gravity. Suppression. Savage. Streamline. Seaweed. Grove. Portfolio.
Portfolio.
Marvel.
Marvel.
Woe.
Woe.
Profound.
Profound.
Defendant.
Defendant.
Contradiction.
Contradiction.
Albeit.
Albeit.
Dwelling.
Dwelling.
Probe.
Probe.
Glossy.
Glossy.
Portfolio. Marvel. Woe. Profound. Defendant. Contradiction. Albeit. Dwelling. Probe. Glossy. Visualize.
Visualize.
Incapable.
Incapable.
Anew.
Anew.
Proceedings.
Proceedings.
Fraction.
Fraction.
Binding.
Binding.
Vapor.
Vapor.
Jerk.
Jerk.
Ample.
Ample.
Handicraft.
Handicraft.
Visualize. Incapable. Anew. Proceedings. Fraction. Binding. Vapor. Jerk. Ample. Handicraft.
Plateau.
Beak.
Beak.
Seesaw.
Cease.
Foster.
Foster.
Gene.
Gene.
Agenda.
Agenda.
Tourism.
Tourism.
Hail.
Hail.
Immoral.
Immoral.
Outdo.
Outdo.
Beak. Seesaw. Foster. Gene. agenda, tourism, hail, immoral, outdo, capability,
capability,
preface,
preface,
depress, resound,
resound,
postgraduate,
postgraduate,
offender,
offender,
obstruct,
obstruct,
intermittent,
intermittent,
herd,
herd,
intermediate,
intermediate,
capability, preface, depress, resound, postgraduate, offender, obstruct, intermittent, herd, intermediate, lone,
lone,
like-minded,
like-minded,
unfold,
unfold,
bodily,
bodily,
overstate,
overstate,
straight,
straight,
voluntary,
voluntary,
midsummer,
midsummer,
vocal,
vocal,
referendum,
referendum,
lone, like-minded, unfold, bodily, overstate, straight, voluntary, midsummer, vocal, referendum, permafrost,
permafrost,
administrator,
administrator,
dose,
dose,
safeguard,
safeguard,
boulevard,
boulevard,
statehood,
statehood,
tuck,
tuck,
botanical,
botanical,
fragment,
fragment,
generalize,
generalize,
permafrost, administrator, dose, safeguard, boulevard, statehood, tuck, botanical, fragment, generalize, persistent,
persistent,
voltage,
voltage,
diminished,
diminished,
premier,
premier,
comparative,
comparative,
diplomat,
diplomat,
coolant,
coolant,
motivate,
motivate,
utilize,
utilize,
fleet,
fleet,
persistent, voltage, diminished, premier, comparative, diplomat, coolant, motivate, utilize, fleet, gathering,
gathering,
squash,
squash,
render,
render,
recede,
recede,
arrogant,
arrogant,
unveil,
unveil,
cult,
cult,
distinctive,
distinctive,
coexistent,
coexistent,
crisp,
crisp,
gathering, squash, render, recede, arrogant, unveil, cult, distinctive, coexistent, crisp, forthcoming,
forthcoming,
environmentalism,
environmentalism,
transit,
transit,
misplace,
misplaced,
elaborate,
elaborate,
socialism,
socialism,
presumably,
presumably,
engrossed,
engrossed,
ecstasy,
ecstasy,
terminal,
terminal,
forthcoming, environmentalism, transit, misplaced, elaborate, socialist, presumably, engrossed, ecstasy, terminal, hostility,
hostility,
transparent,
transparent,
lava,
lava,
countless,
countless,
icon,
icon,
placebo,
placebo,
indication,
indication,
discern,
discern,
comprehensive,
comprehensive,
transmit,
transmit,
hostility, transparent, lava, countless, icon, placebo, indication, discern, comprehensive, transmit, domain,
domain,
materialize,
materialize,
obscure, urgency,
urgency,
deficit,
deficit,
criterion,
criterion,
mammal,
mammal,
perch,
perch,
fossil,
fossil,
diagnose, domain, materialize, obscure, urgency, deficit, criterion, mammal, perch, fossil, diagnose, paradigm,
paradigm,
gadget,
gadget,
comprehend,
comprehend,
inherent,
inherent,
tremendous,
tremendous,
whirl,
whirl,
ritual,
ritual,
commemorate,
commemorate,
instrumental,
instrumental,
uptake,
uptake,
paradigm, gadget, comprehend, inherent, tremendous, whirl, ritual, commemorate, instrumental, uptake, identical,
identical,
effective,
affective,
hostile,
hostile,
jack,
jack,
complement,
compliment,
dedication,
dedication,
adequate,
adequate,
pant,
pant,
variable,
variable,
categorize,
categorize,
identical, effective, hostile, jack, complement, dedication, adequate, pant, variable, categorize, rainfall,
rainfall,
encore,
encore,
suppress,
suppress,
plentiful,
plentiful,
crane,
crane,
divine,
divine,
eradicate,
eradicate,
mortality,
mortality,
realm,
realm,
sea,
pharmacy,
rainfall, encore, suppress, plentiful, crane, divine, eradicate, mortality, realm, sea, vigorous,
vigorous,
grenade,
grenade,
indiscriminate,
indiscriminate,
rehabilitate,
rehabilitate,
encode,
encode,
intensive,
intensive,
photographic,
photographic,
puncture,
puncture,
merciful,
merciful,
persist,
persist,
vigorous, grenade, indiscriminate, rehabilitate, encode, intensive, photographic, puncture, merciful, persist, outskirt,
outskirts,
masquerade,
masquerade,
canon,
canon,
mainland,
mainland,
progression,
progression,
nuisance,
nuisance,
prospective,
prospective,
penetrate,
penetrate,
ratio,
ratio,
inquiry,
inquiry,
outskirt, masquerade, canon, mainland, progression, nuisance, prospective, penetrate, ratio, inquiry, collective,
collective,
dental,
dental,
ponder,
ponder,
muggy,
muggy,
narrate,
narrate,
cast,
cast,
complication,
complication,
plow,
plow,
genetic,
genetic,
align,
align,
collective, dental, ponder, muggy, narrate, cast, complication, plow, genetic, align, tablet,
tablet,
site,
site,
invalid,
invalid,
deprive,
deprive,
stimulus,
stimulant,
cooperative,
cooperative,
sheer,
sheer,
resent,
resent,
mislead,
mislead,
classify,
classify,
tablet, site, invalid, deprive, stimulus, cooperative, sheer, resent, mislead, classify, shatter,
shatter,
outburst,
outburst,
stripe,
stripe,
molecule,
molecule,
thereby,
thereby,
resin,
resin,
reflective,
reflective,
hilarious,
hilarious,
calamity,
calamity,
terminate,
terminate,
shatter, outburst, stripe, molecule, thereby, resin, reflective, hilarious, calamity, terminate, permanence,
permanence,
certificate,
certificate,
tackle,
tackle,
microscope,
microscope,
deficient,
deficient,
personnel,
personnel,
course,
course,
inflexible,
inflexible,
fluid,
fluid,
navigate,
navigate,
permanence, certificate, tackle, microscope, deficient, personnel, course, inflexible, fluid, navigate, alongside,
alongside,
mountaineer,
mountaineer,
bounce,
bounce,
insert,
insert,
hilly,
hilly,
disapprove,
disapprove,
prominence,
prominence,
Copernican,
Copernican,
heap,
heap,
debatable,
debatable,
alongside, mountaineer, bounce, insert, hilly, disapprove, prominence, Copernican, heap, debatable, visibility,
visibility,
premise,
premise,
attribute,
attribute,
preliminary,
preliminary,
preferable,
preferable,
exploit,
exploit,
theoretical,
theoretical,
diagnose,
diagnose,
quantify,
quantify,
harass,
harass,
visibility, premise, attribute, preliminary, preferable, exploit, theoretical, diagnose, quantify, harass, mentor,
mentor,
dedicate,
dedicate,
indicator,
indicator,
thermal,
thermal,
lag,
lag,
morality,
morality,
descendant,
descendant,
floral,
floral,
primate,
primate,
ally,
ally,
mentor, dedicate, indicator, thermal, lag, morality, descendant, floral, primate, ally, ultraviolet,
ultraviolet,
virtually,
virtually,
characterize,
characterize,
counterpart,
counterpart,
sequence,
sequence,
stagger,
stagger,
span,
life,
valid,
valid,
troublesome,
troublesome,
authorized,
authorized,
ultraviolet, virtually, characterize, counterpart, sequence, stagger, span, valid, troublesome, authorized, retina,
retina,
extract,
extract,
susceptible,
susceptible,
caption,
caption,
parameter,
parameter,
omission,
omission,
dual,
dual,
applicant,
applicant,
plug,
plug,
warrant,
warrant,
retina, extract, susceptible, caption, parameter, omission, dual, applicant, plug, warrant, fatigue,
fatigue,
conversion,
conversion,
hourly,
hourly,
methodology,
methodology,
inadequate,
inadequate,
veterinary,
veterinary,
urology,
meteorology,
handrail,
handrail,
sideway,
sideway,
leak,
leak,
fatigue, conversion, hourly, methodology, inadequate, veterinary, urology, handrail, sideway, leak, pillar,
pillar,
blueprint,
blueprint,
decent,
decent,
heritage,
heritage,
unload,
unload,
biased,
biased,
assassination,
assassination,
span,
span,
lethal,
lethal,
forum,
forum,
pillar, blueprint, decent, heritage, unload, biased, assassination, span, lethal, forum, socialist,
socialist,
circulation,
circulation,
considerably,
considerably,
institutional,
institutional,
mannerism,
mannerism,
lease,
lease,
remembrance,
remembrance,
probability,
probability,
assess,
assess,
beforehand,
beforehand,
socialist, circulation, considerably, institutional, mannerism, lease, remembrance, probability, assess, beforehand, untouched,
untouched,
inflict,
inflict,
grammatical,
grammatical,
comprehensible,
comprehensible,
brass,
brass,
masterpiece,
masterpiece,
offspring,
offspring,
necessitate,
necessitate,
chic,
chic,
minimal,
minimal,
untouched, inflict, grammatical, comprehensible, brass, masterpiece, offspring, necessitate, chic, minimal, in,
unsay,
correspond,
correspond,
sprint,
sprint,
intercept,
intercept,
dissatisfy,
disfy,
spectacular,
spectacular,
aboriginal,
aboriginal,
deceit,
deceit,
neuron,
neuron,
banner,
banner,
in, correspond, sprint, intercept, dissatisfy, spectacular, aboriginal, deceit, neuron, banner, benchmark,
benchmark,
compulsory,
compulsory,
reliable,
reliable,
linear,
linear,
genome,
genome,
metropolitan,
metropolitan,
simultaneously,
simultaneously,
consolidate,
consolidate,
compel,
compel,
corpus,
corpus,
benchmark, compulsory, reliable, linear, genome, metropolitan, simultaneously, consolidate, compel, corpus, exclusive,
exclusive,
heave,
heave,
fetch,
fetch,
vice versa,
vice versa,
duration,
duration,
shin,
taxation,
derive,
derive,
signify,
sig,
workmanship,
workmanship,
adhere,
adhere,
exclusive, heave, fetch, vice versa, duration, shin, derive, signify, workmanship, adhere, prototype,
prototype,
zealous,
zealous,
stack,
stack,
workforce,
workforce,
affiliate,
affiliate,
proposition,
proposition,
contradictory,
contradictory,
demet,
abember,
spit,
spit,
pension,
pension,
prototype, zealous, stack, workforce, affiliate, proposition, contradictory, demet, spit, pension, equip,
equip,
interruption,
interruption,
distraction,
distraction,
intolerable,
intolerable,
courier,
courier,
rigid,
rigid,
embryo,
embryo,
fig,
fig,
guardian,
guardian,
pregnant,
pregnant,
equip, interruption, distraction, intolerable, courier, rigid, embryo, fig, guardian, pregnant, coverage,
coverage,
emulate,
emulate,
foul,
foul,
moratorium,
moratorium,
metaphor,
metaphor,
mileage,
mileage,
clash,
clash,
peer,
peer,
feeble,
feeble,
residential,
residential,
coverage, emulate, foul, moratorium, metaphor, mileage, clash, peer, feeble, residential, cod,
code,
monopoly,
monopoly,
nip,
nip,
instructive,
instructive,
famine,
famine,
complicate,
complicate,
shan't,
chant,
overwhelm,
overwhelm,
deliberately,
deliberately,
hence,
hence,
cod, monopoly, nip, instructive, famine, complicate, shan't, overwhelm, deliberately, hence, respectively,
respectively,
exposition,
exposition,
gimmick,
gimmick,
editorial,
editorial,
innovative,
innovative,
symmetrical,
symmetrical,
swamp,
swamp,
handout,
handout,
ethical,
ethical,
fraud,
fraud,
respectively, exposition, gimmick, editorial, innovative, symmetrical, swamp, handout, ethical, fraud, tote,
tote,
courageous,
courageous,
camouflage,
camouflage,
competent,
competent,
functional,
functional,
dimension,
dimension,
accessible,
accessible,
revise,
revive,
revenue,
revenue,
virus,
virus,
tote, courageous, camouflage, competent, functional, dimension, accessible, revise, revenue, virus, feedback,
feedback,
over,
overpower,
brewery,
brewery,
impede,
impede,
ridge,
ridge,
clinical,
clinical,
divert,
divert,
overpay,
over,
biomass,
biomass,
notably,
notably,
feedback, over, brewery, impede, ridge, clinical, divert, overpay, biomass, notably, isolate,
isolate,
sociable, reconsider,
reconsider,
obsolete,
obsolete,
novice,
novice,
inclination,
inclination,
mug,
mug,
cosmetic,
cosmetic,
fume,
fume,
weighty,
weighty,
isolate, sociable, reconsider, obsolete, novice, inclination, mug, cosmetic, fume, weighty, tightrope,
tightrope,
predominant,
predominate,
shore,
offshore,
migrant,
migrant,
proofread,
proofread,
rubbish,
rubbish,
vicious,
vicious,
eject,
eject,
orbit,
orbit,
recollect,
recollect,
tightrope, predominant, shore, migrant, proofread, rubbish, vicious, eject, orbit, recollect, paradox,
paradox,
insistent,
insistent,
precedent,
precedence,
asymmetry,
asymmetry,
degradation,
degradation,
eligible,
eligible,
linguist,
linguist,
unavoidable,
unavoidable,
blast,
blast,
start,
starch,
paradox, insistent, precedent, asymmetry, degradation, eligible, linguist, unavoidable, blast, start,